Bradshaw from Cruiser Customizing with this line and cable tip of the week. Over the last couple weeks we've been doing some modifications to this V-Star 650 Classic. Put risers, bars, and now it's time to tackle the lines and cables. Our buddies at Barron's Custom Accessories have sent us the complete kit. In this kit they sent us the throttle, push and pull, clutch, and the front brake line. Over the next hour or so we're going to disassemble this V-Star 650 and install the clutch lever, brake line, and the new throttle cables. Come on in and take a look at how simple this process really is. So the first thing we're going to do here is remove the seat and the tank so we have access to everything we need access to. Okay, seat removed. So tank removal on each motorcycle is slightly different, so the actual disassembly of this isn't necessarily that keen. But the installation of the lines and cables is almost identical for all motorcycles. We have the gas tank off. As you can see here, we have access to the throttle cables all the way down to where they connect to the carburetor. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate my switch box housing and I'm going to slide these throttle cables off the bar. I'm going to go ahead and remove the cables from both the grip and the housing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to the throttle cables right here at the intake. And I'm going to go ahead and loosen both the front and back and then slide these out of their groove. Loosen up the other side of the carburetor inlet here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the top and the bottom cables. Once they're disconnected on the other side, I can bring them over here. I can undo each of these nuts, remove the cables, and slide them all the way out of the front of the motorcycle. Alright, here's the top cable. And easy. Now the bottom cable. Now before we install these cables, it's imperative that we lube them. The easiest way to lube your cables is to use this fancy tool from Motion Pro. We slip the cable into this rubber housing, and now we're going to go ahead and tighten this. Once you've got that in place, we're going to take this Motion Pro lube can. We're going to insert the straw. Now we're going to spray lube into this cable until we see lube coming out the other end. Now we're going to install our new stainless steel throttle push and pull cables into the housings, and then we're going to attach them to the front of the carburetor. Alright, we just got the throttle housing all connected back up. Our lines are run down through the frame of the motorcycle. Once I get these attached to the brace here, I'm going to go ahead and slide the brace in between the choke cable here, and I'm going to attach them to the front of the carburetor. We attach them here to the carburetor. Now the test. Does the throttle react like it should? Oh, look at that snap back. Now that we've got this handled, we're going to go ahead and tackle the front brake line and the clutch. Step here is going to be to remove this reservoir cap. So we're going to go ahead and remove the line down here at the caliper. Now that we've pumped all of the fluid out of the master cylinder here, we're going to go ahead and cover this. We're going to break this bolt loose and remove this line. Barron's has given us a brand new line, brand new chrome banjo bolt, and new washers. So we're going to slide the first washer over the bolt. We're then going to go through the housing, apply our second washer, and screw this to the caliper. We're going to run our brake line up through the back of the triple tree and take this, attach it to the reservoir. Now there are lots and lots of different ways to bleed a brake system. Typically, you bleed the brake system on a motorcycle by filling the reservoir here with fluid, creating some pressure, holding it, and then releasing the valve to release the pressure, and that then bleeds the line. In the community for over the last couple weeks, there's been quite a bit of talk about it. Today I'm going to show you one of the secrets passed down from my great-grandfather to my grandfather, and today I'm going to show you. It's a really simple way to make sure that there are no air bubbles in your brake system here. What I'm going to show you today is I'm taking a nipple, putting it into a bottle. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to squeeze this fluid through this line into the caliper, up the brake line, and I'm going to fill this entire reservoir using this bottle. This is going to ensure that there's absolutely no air from the caliper all the way up to the reservoir. Once we've got our reservoir filled, we can go ahead and replace our reservoir cap, our mounting screws, and the installation of our front brake line is complete. So now it's time to replace the clutch cable. The clutch cable is simply removed by loosening these adjusting bolts right here. Once I've loosened this adjuster all the way, I can go ahead and pull the cable out. Now I can slide this all the way through each of the holders up through the top here. And now I'm going to make my adjusters line up here in the front so that we have a line that goes all the way across. And I'm going to reach on up in here and remove the barrel. Now, just like the throttle cables, we're going to go ahead and lube this clutch cable. Now that we've got this cable lubed, we're going to go ahead and slide it down through all the factory harnesses. Go ahead and slide the barrel up into the holder here. Bring it around. Reinstall our front adjusting nut. Reconnect the cable. Now it's just a matter of taking this bike outside and adjusting the clutch so that the friction zone is in the perfect spot. We've just completely transformed the look and performance of the front of this motorcycle with this change from Barron's. This is the Barron's Complete Kit. It comes absolutely complete with everything you need to get your motorcycle on the road with your particular riser and bar combination. But there we have it. Look at